Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be my April TBR using my TBR prompt jar. So if you don't know, I do this every month where I choose prompts out of my TBR jar and use it to pick the books that I'm going to put on my monthly TBR. This is not a unique idea. So many people do this every month. I'm pretty sure Rachel Catherine started it with the TBR jar. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Rachel Catherine was the first person I saw do it. But if you've seen any of these videos before, you'll know what happens. I've done them for the past few months. So if you want to go back and watch those, you can. Otherwise, I'm just going to crack on. I read 8 books in March, which was, I think, the most books I've read in a month this year so far. So I feel like my reading is picking up, so I might actually choose 8 prompts. I usually choose 5 or 6, I'm pretty sure, but I want to be crazy and I think I might pick 8, especially because I'm really in a reading mood right now. So yeah, I think I'm going to choose 8 prompts. There are a few books like on my radar that I know that I do want to get to as soon as possible, so I'm going to try and get some of those on there, but I'm not going to say what they are until if we get them on there on my TBR. We'll see. Also, I do need to add more prompts into this jar, so if you have any prompt ideas, please write them in the comments below, because I need new prompts to update the jar. So yeah, please let me know. But we're just gonna go in with the first pick. The first prompt is an author you've never read before. Okay, this is difficult because there are so many authors I haven't read from before, but most of the books that I want to read are either sequels or they are just authors that I've previously read from. Okay, I've picked out a few different books. The first one we have is The Kiss of Deception by Mary E. Pearson. I've never read from her before. This is a YA fantasy romance, a very classic YA fantasy. Then we have Binding 13 by Chloe Walsh. This is the first book in the Boys of Tommen series, which is very popular right now. It's a romance series set in Ireland. Then I have First Down by Grace Riley, which is like an American football fake dating romance. And then I have The 7 Year Slip by Ashley Poston, which was on last month's TBR, but I just didn't get to it. I honestly don't know which one to pick, because I'm also thinking about like prompts that I could get next, and I feel like Binding 13 would work for a lot of prompts, so I might rule that one out for the moment. I do really want to get to The 7 Year Slip, but I've just been putting it off. I think I'm going to put on The Kiss of Deception by Mary E. Pearson. I'm really in my fantasy romance era, and I really love YA fantasy romance. And I just feel like this one is going to be a good one. My friend Sarah loves this one. It says, in a society steeped in tradition, Princess Leia's life follows a preordained course. As first daughter, she's expected to have the revered gift of sight, which she doesn't, and to happily marry a prince she has never met, which she won't. On the morning of her wedding, Leia flees to a distant village. She settles into her new life, hopeful, when 2 mysterious and handsome strangers arrive, and unaware that one is the prince she was meant to marry and the other an assassin sent to kill her. As deceptions swell, Leia finds herself on the brink of unlocking perilous secrets that may unravel her world even as she begins falling in love. I think I read the synopsis of that in my book shopping video, because I did buy this in London. If you want to watch that video, it's my last video before this one, I'm pretty sure. I think this is like, it's giving love triangle. Yeah, I think I'm gonna put this one on. I might come to regret it because there are a few other fantasy romances that I want to read this month, but we'll see. So that is book 1 for April, chosen. Okay, prompt 2. Also, I didn't mention, April is my birthday month. My birthday's on the 22nd of April, and so I will be going book shopping for my birthday, so I will also have a lot of new books, which I imagine I'll probably want to read as soon as I buy them, so we'll see. I might not get to all of these, but I'm going to try my absolute best. The next prompt is a book with a one-word title. Now, out of all the ones I pulled as potentials, only one of them has a one-word title, so we're gonna go with that one, and that is Reckless by Elsie Silver. I really want to continue this series. This is the Chestnut Spring series, and it's like a cowboy romance series. all surrounding this one family. I really want to finish this series. Mostly I want to get to the last book because I've heard great things about the last book. I gave the first book, I think I might have gave it 4 stars, the second book 5 stars, and the third book 3 stars. So I'm hoping that this one is another 5 star. Heartless is my absolute favourite. It's one of my favourite romance books of all time. I'm just really hoping that this one is just as good. I think this one has a pregnancy trope in it, which I don't know how I feel, but the second book on April's TBR is Reckless. Okay, those are both books that weren't like the most anticipated for me. There are some others that I do want on there more, so we'll see. Okay, we have a book published this year, and I know exactly what I'm going to choose for this one. That is Happily Never After by Lynn Painter. This is Lynn Painter's newest release. I'm pretty sure it came out yesterday when I'm filming this. Lynn Painter's the author of Mr. Wrong Number, The Love Wager, Better Than the Movies. I prefer, maybe an unpopular opinion, but I prefer Lynn Painter's adult romances. I know a lot of people prefer her YA, but I'm really into her adult romances. Mr. Wrong Number is my favourite romance book of all time. It was so funny. And this is another adult romance. It's basically about a girl called Sophie who is about to get married and finds out that her fiance has cheated on her. So she hires this guy called Max to basically stop the wedding, say that he objects so that she doesn't get married, and then basically they team up and go around objecting to people's weddings together. It sounds really good, and with Lynn Painter I can imagine I'm just going to have such a good time, and yeah, I just can't wait to read this. Okay, prompt number 4 is... oh, okay. Prompt 4 is a fantasy. I know what I'm going to choose for this, and that is Crown of Midnight by Sarah J Maas. Me and my friend Jemima are doing a reread of this series. I got to book 5, I'm pretty sure it's an 8-book series, and I read the first 5 books in the series, and then I left it too long before picking up Empire of Storms. So I needed to do a reread, and Jemima was doing a reread as well, so we decided just to buddy reread it together. So we're currently reading Throne of Glass. I'm nearly finished with it. We have like 1 day left, I think. So I'm hoping to finish it tonight or tomorrow. But that means that in April I need to pick up Crown of Midnight, so I'm really glad that I've got this one on the TBR. If you've never heard of this series, it's basically about a girl called Selena who is an assassin, and she ends up getting captured and taken to this like slave camp, and she's there for about a year before the king basically has this competition with a bunch of thieves and assassins and criminals for one of them to become his champion, and Selena is involved in that competition. I'm not going to say any more. I'm not going to say what happens in this one specifically because I'll spoil the first book for people who haven't read it yet. But I absolutely love this series, and I'm really enjoying my reread of Throne of Glass, so I can't wait to pick up Crown of Midnight again. We have 4 so far, so we're halfway. Prompt 5 is... oh shit. Sorry. I should have picked up this one. A book in a series. I literally have 2 books. It's not focusing. I have 2 books in a series already on my TBR. Okay, I have some options and I've realised that they're all read. But the first one is A Duel with the Vampire Lord by Elise Kova. This series is like interconnected standalones. They're fantasy romance. They're all about a different type of fae, royalty, and a romance that they have. This one is about, obviously, the Vampire Lord. I have been the most excited to get to this one because in the previous 2 books, which is A Deal with the Elf King and A Dance with the Fae Prince, vampires have been really mysterious and no one really knows where they are or what they're doing. No one's seen them in like years and years. So I've been really interested to get to this one, and I'm finally on this book, so this is an option. Then I could also pick up Binding 13 by Chloe Walsh. Was this one an option earlier? Yeah, it was. Again, haven't read from Chloe Walsh before. This is the first book in the Boys of Tommen series. And then I could finish a series or a duology and read Ruthless Vows by Rebecca Ross. I loved Divine Rivals so much. And I just haven't picked up Ruthless Vows because I'm scared and I don't want this series to be over, and I'm just scared to find out what happens. I do really need to read it, but I just don't know. I don't know if I'm ready to pick it up yet is the problem. So far I have 2 romances and 2 fantasies, so I just don't know what to do. Okay, I think I'm going to choose Ruthless Vows and just hope and pray that I get to it. Yeah, we'll choose Ruthless Vows. For those who don't know, Divine Rivals is about a girl called Iris and a guy called Roman, and they both work at this they both work for this newspaper, and they're like rivals. Obviously it's called Divine Rivals, and they are both up for this promotion. It's sort of like a magical world, and there's this war going on to do with gods, and Iris ends up leaving the job and going to become a war reporter, and there's a magical typewriter. I don't know what to say without spoiling it because I just don't know what to say, but I'm going to put on Ruthless Vows to hopefully try and finish this series. Okay, 6th prompt is a book with a person on the cover. I have a couple of options. So again, we have A Duel with the Vampire Lord. They have 2 people on the cover. Then we also have Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez, which also has 2 people on the cover. This is the 2nd book in the Part of Your World series. I really do want to pick this one up soon. I loved Part of Your World, but I just don't know. And then we have First Down by Grace Riley again. I actually think I'm going to choose this one just because it's really short, and I have been really excited to pick this up. I feel like it's going to be such a fast read. I'm pretty sure I said earlier it's a fake dating American football romance. I feel like that will be needed to cleanse the palate after reading Ruthless Vows, to be honest. So, okay, we're even again. We have 3 fantasies and 3 romances. So the next two I don't know what's going to happen. But prompt 7 is... okay, this is literally perfect. Prompt 7 is a mystery or thriller. I know what I'm going to choose because I've been putting this on my TBR for the past few months and still haven't got to it. And that is The Fury by Alex Michaelides. I'm pretty sure this has been on the past 2 TBRs maybe as a new release. This came out in January. I went and met Alex Michaelides and got the book signed, and I have been really excited to read this one. It says, on an idyllic private Greek island, former movie star Lana Farrar, an old friend, invites a select group of us to stay. It's hot, sunny, perfect, a chance to relax and reconnect, and maybe for a few hidden truths to come out. But nothing on this island is quite what it seems. Not Lana, not her guests, certainly not the murderer, furiously plotting the crime. But who am I? My name is Elliot Chase, and I'm going to tell you a story unlike any you've ever heard. I'm pretty sure this book is set, or is written like as if he's literally telling the story to you. It's just written as if he's telling you the story, which I really like. And it also has acts and stuff, which reminds me of If We Were Villains, sort of like play structure, which I'm really excited about. And I don't know why I keep putting this book off. I just haven't picked it up. But this is the month, mark my words, I'm going to pick this book up. Okay, I actually think I really want to put Binding 13 on my TBR. So I'm hoping whatever the next prompt is works for Binding 13. So I'm thinking romance or popular book, or I don't know. I'm just really hoping that I can get Binding 13 on here. Okay, this works. This absolutely works. This is a book that you think you will rate 5 stars, and based on all the reviews and all the hype at the minute, and based on Em and Sarah, my 2 best friends, their opinions of this book, I will be giving this book 5 stars. I'm pretty confident in saying that. Hopefully I'm not disappointed, but I've heard just such great things, it's hard not to expect it to be a 5-star read. So that does conclude my April TBR. We have 8 books on here. Okay, oh my god, this is so heavy. Okay, these are the 8 books that I am reading in April, hopefully. We have 1 thriller on there, 1, 2, 3 fantasies and 4 romances, which I think is a pretty good spread. I'm really hoping I get to all of these and maybe even more. I know that Binding 13 is like 800 pages long, but I've just really been enjoying reading recently. I'm really back into my reading era, so hopefully I can get to all of these. But keep watching because I'm planning on bringing weekly reading vlogs back, so you'll get to see if I read all of these books pretty much within the next 4 weeks. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.